Hello passengers, Trainboy 10 here. Welcome back to the Home Media Reviews, and today is my birthday. Or at least it should be by the time this video releases, which is October 10th. And to celebrate my birthday, we are going to be watching Thomas and the Special Letter. Like the last episode, I was struggling to pick a release, this time with Season 4, and Season 4 might be my favorite season of the whole show, so yeah, you can imagine that it would be very difficult for me to pick just one. Because I love every Series 4 release, so I decided to let you all vote. And Thomas and the Special Letter got the most votes, so yeah, that's what we're going to be looking at today. And it's very fitting too, because, you know, the title of the DVD has the word special in it. So I'm basically going to watch a special DVD on my special day. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I'm not going to waste any more time. I've put this off for long enough, so yeah, let's just get right into this thing. Wait, hold on, where'd Toby go? I do question, like, they're all going to the station, yet they're going in the opposite direction.
They whistled impatiently. Sir Topham Hatt.
Why do they have different whistle sounds? Yeah, it's a very weird thing about Season 4, they just gave the big engines different whistle sounds for some reason. Really good episode. I know I didn't say much, but I'll say more on it later.
Listen to me. There is nothing wrong with that tunnel. You stuck in it because you tried to do rock and roll. Tunnels are not dance floors, and you are not a pop star. Then Sir Topham Hatt gave his full attention to Duncan's funnel. If it happens again, he ended ominously, I shall find ways to cut you down to size. In other words, your career is on the line. Need I say more?
I love that. I love
Duncan
that
thought
line.
Sir Topham Hatt had said quite enough, and he remained completely silent and still, for at least a whole evening.
I know you can't see my face, but that put a smile on my face. Again, I'll talk more about that later, but yeah.
Skarloey, the little engine, loves all the sights and sounds along his line and knows them very well.
Yeah, something I'm a little confused about. Why do you use Thomas's theme for Skarloey? That doesn't really make a lot of sense.
There's still one bad bit, warned Rusty, just before the first station.
What about the track next to you?
Duncan banged about the yard. Then he clattered crossly to the station. James was already there, waiting for him.
I really enjoyed Duncan's theme. It's a very catchy theme, but so is a lot of Mike and Junior's music, so I feel like that really isn't saying much. That audio cut. Oh yeah, look, you can see the shadow from the hand. Oh my god, they're just using the same nameboard sequence over and over. They've literally used the same nameboard sequence like 3 times now. It's a little distracting.
One day, the other engines would.
Speaking of mixing up whistles. Wait, where's Rusty at? Oh my god, Skarloey is lying on his boiler. It's always crooked in some way.
Huh, you're a handle, I suppose. And you, I suppose, are George? Yes, I've heard of you. And I've heard of you. You swank around with your steamroller wheels, pretending you're as good as me. Actually, I'm better. Goodbye.
He's good. Very good.
George.
Oh, there's the wires. I just noticed the wires. Wait, why is Birdie there? Why was Birdie there? And then that one milk tanker doesn't have any text on it. Look at Renee is.
We'll think of something else.
Great episode right there. Just the best so far. I'm sorry, it's just the fact they're reusing the same nameboard sequence is really distracting to me. And we only have 2 episodes left. Time really does fly when you're having fun. Oh wait, isn't this Croven's Gate? Yeah, this is the Croven's Gate set, isn't it? Oh yeah, I think that was the Skarloey railway sheds on the left there.
I'm worried, Mr. Douglas. This disrespect for engines. Where's it going? That's the way, Mr. Oliver, whispered Toad. And if you leave that Scruffy till last, then you'll have him behind you. And you can bump him if he starts his nonsense.
Honestly, I feel like when Scruffy, hear Toad, that's a nitpick, by the way.
Oh! Wailed Scruffy. I'm coming apart!
I don't know why I find that funny.
It's not your fault, but Sir Topham Hatt should scrap you and get engines like me. A fill of oil, a touch on the starter, and I'm off.
Oh wait, I want to look back on that footage in editing, because I feel like that the cuts between the footage there was actually really good, like with the train being shunted in the background. I meant.
James says he's sick as boiler sludge and sulking in the shed.
But how does he know that? Oh wait, there's Rusty, right by Stepney there. I like that actually. I think it's a bit of subtle continuity with Rusty to the rescue. Thomas first saw Terrence the tractor plowing in a field one day, and he said, "My oh my, you do look funny. Where are your wheels, are your wheels, are your wheels, however do you move along? You really do look funny, da-da-da-da. Don't judge a book by its cover, don't make your mind up too soon. Things aren't necessarily always what they appear to be. Don't judge a book by its cover, don't make your mind up too soon." Sure enough, one winter's day when the snow lay deep and hard, Thomas got stuck, he was in trouble. And who do you think came along and rescued him that day? The snow didn't matter to Terrence the tractor. Now Thomas understands that you don't judge a book by its cover, don't make your mind up too soon. A beautiful shot to end this amazing song. And a fantastic song to end this release. That flew by. Wow. Thomas and the Special Letter, easily the best I've covered so far. Where do I even begin? Best I've covered so far. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know where to begin. Okay, yeah, let's just go through the episodes like I always do. Thomas and the Special Letter, while I didn't really have much to say, I do really enjoy this episode. It's a great one. I really like how the engines are visiting children, because in the original book story, the reason why the Fat Controller decided to send his engines to London was because, well, for some reason, people believed that they weren't real, which raises a lot of questions because the Fat Controller's engines is in the book The 8 Famous Engines, and in that book there is the story Gordon Goes Foreign, where Gordon goes to London, and apparently he was in the newspaper too, so, you know, he attracted a lot of attention. So I don't know, I guess it's like the reason why they went to London in the book. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Yeah, again, it just raises a lot of questions about, like, aren't engines from all around the world alive? I don't know, it's just very confusing. But in the adaptation, I really appreciate the change to, we're gonna go to London because people don't think you're real, to many girls and boys would like to meet you. I don't know, I feel like I'm struggling to express how I truly feel, but there's something about that change, about the engines visiting children, that I think there's just something so wholesome about it. Something else I really appreciate too is that it's specifically a little girl that writes to Sir Topham Hatt to ask the engines to visit her and her friends. I really appreciate that. You know, I guess it's like a subversion of expectations, because you would probably think a little boy would write to them, because Thomas is a boys show, but it's also just like, well, girls can enjoy the show too, and girls can also like trains. Girls can be into boy things, and boys can be into girl things. It shouldn't be one-sided. I'm struggling to word it, so to avoid rambling, I think I'm just gonna move on. But yeah, Thomas and the Special Letter is a great episode. Definitely one of the best of season 4. Home at Last it's a good episode. I don't really have much to say on this one. It's just a good introduction to Duncan. The most noteworthy thing to me, Sir Topham Hatt's line, I just find it so funny. The book line was just the Thin Controller telling Duncan, "Listen to me, Duncan. There is nothing wrong with that tunnel. You stuck because you tried to do rock and roll. If it happens again, I'll cut down your cab. And your funnel too." Duncan, abashed, was neither plain nor blunt for a whole evening. Yeah, I mean, that's not really funny. Yeah, it's very blunt and stern, which works for the scene, but I just find the line in the adaptation just so much funnier. "Tunnels are not dance floors, and you are not a pop star. If it happens again, I shall find ways to cut you down to size. In other words, your career is on the line. Need I say more?" I just find that so funny. It's like the fat director's lines in the Sad Story of Henry, where they're trying to pull and push Henry. The lines, "My doctor has forbidden me to push," or "My doctor has forbidden me to pull." Those lines, it's just like when I read them out loud or like I listen to them, no matter how many times I've heard it or read it, it's still funny. And I don't really know why. Like, I could be in just a terrible mood. I could just be really sad, and then I'd listen to those lines and just laugh, or it just brings a smile to my face. Again, I know you can't see my face, but yeah, that legitimately brought a smile to my face. I love that line. It's just really funny. Again, don't really have much more to say, so I'll just move on to Rock and Roll. Again, another good episode. I like how Rusty gets a bit of focus in this one. Yeah, I really like the ending where Duncan and Rusty make up and they decide to become friends. I think that's really sweet. This is very nitpicky. When they show Duncan rock and rolling at the beginning of the episode, yeah, you can easily just, see the tracks just warped a little bit to have Duncan, rock from side to side. And then, yeah, later on when Duncan is rock and rolling, yeah, twisting the tracks a little bit to make him bounce around, which I guess is the point. Another thing too is that how are people able to lift Duncan back onto the rails? A few years ago, I never questioned it. I just thought, I guess I just must have thought, oh, he's just really light. But thinking about it now, it doesn't make any sense. I have to assume that Rusty and Mr. Hugh were the ones that lifted Duncan back on the track, which makes sense because they would have the necessary equipment in order to do so. I think I've mentioned everything, so again, let's just move on. Steamroller. I love this episode. It's a really funny one. So something I really like about this episode, Sir Handel's whole thing is that, he was always arrogant and rude, and no matter how hard you try, he's never going to change. And this episode perfectly demonstrates that. Because, yeah, Sir Handel gets really cocky and boastful about his steamroller wheels. Yeah, Skarloey comes up with this plan to put Sir Handel in his place by going up against another cocky and arrogant character in the form of George. And speaking of which, I really enjoy George. I really like him. But yeah, I really like the conflict between the two. I really like the twist of the ending. In a story like this, where a character is cocky and arrogant, usually they learn their lesson by some sort of accident or something, but it's usually like by the end of the episode, the character learns their lesson and like they apologize or they redeem themselves in some way and stop being arrogant. But here, not at all. Skarloey formed this entire plan just to teach Sir Handel a lesson, and it doesn't work. Sir Handel was cocky and arrogant, and then by the end of all this, he's even more cocky and arrogant. Like, again, a subversion of expectations that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, and it's just, the other engines are like, okay, so that didn't work. What do we do now? But thankfully, they don't have to do anything. Because karma caught up with Sir Handel and, Sir Handel didn't learn a lesson, but he got his comeuppance. Something I only noticed for this video was they don't really establish the road work being done, because in the original book it's firmly established that the reason George is there is because they're widening a road that runs alongside the railway, which they don't really establish in the adaptation. George is just kind of I guess they kinda do, but not really. It's like, the specific area that George is working at was not established. Again, that is very nitpicky, and the episode is still great. It's one of the best. And what's this? We're going to another one of the best episodes of Season 4? Why, yes we are. Again, Toad Stands By. I love Toad Stands By. It's, again, fantastic. One of the best of Season 4. So, story time for a moment here. I got this DVD for Christmas last year. I mean, you would know that if you saw my New Year's video from last year. When I watched Toad Stands By, I already like this episode, but I love it even more now. I love this episode. I just gained so much more respect and appreciation for Oliver. Yeah, I love Oliver, and I love Toad's role in this episode too. I love Oliver's redemption here. I don't know, there's just something so epically satisfying about Oliver redeeming himself here. And again, I know you can't see my face, but again, I had the biggest smile on my face watching that scene. I loved it. Also, I guess I want to mention this here. Yeah, I can understand why they changed Scruffy's fate in the show, because in the book story, after Scruffy is pulled in half, they refer to him as the remains, which I think pretty, indirectly implies that Scruffy died. And I can get, yeah, it's probably too dark for Thomas that, showing a character dying on screen, but then, what about the spiteful brake van? They don't actually state it, but in this shot, when he was crushed, did he die? I don't know. I guess that's a topic for another day, but, And we have one more episode, Bowled Out, or Bowled Out? I think it's Bowled Out because bowler hat and, bowl. It's, again, another great episode. I love seeing Stepney. I like the interaction with the inspector and Sir Topham Hatt. It's just very bluntly, it's like, "You've got my hat!" And then Sir Topham Hatt would say, "Your hat." I love that. And then to end it all off, we got Don't Judge a Book by Its Cover. A fantastic song. I love this song. I can pretty much just play an instrumental. I can sing all the lyrics by heart. I love how the melody is based on Terrence's theme. The music is great, but then When Is Mike and Jr. not good. The narration by George Carlin is great. I think I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. You know what? No, I'm gonna give this a 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, it's that great. Again, I love Season 4, and I really enjoyed this DVD. I enjoyed myself the whole time. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss the train for the next video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.